Happy GA Flashback Friday, TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. I am so ready for this weekend. I am so ready to relax and do absolutely nothing because it's been a really busy week. Like, the girls are slowly getting, like, their doctor's appointments in order for, you know, like, their vision and their dentist appointments and back-to-school checkups. It's just madness, and it's been absolutely crazy. Thank God I have slept well this week because I don't think I would have made it otherwise. I have needed all of the motivation that I could get to get through this week. And luckily enough, I have slept well. Like, I've dreamed a lot. Like, I've had a lot of dreams, but no night terrors, thank God, because I'm over that mess. But I've had, like, a lot of dreams. Most of them good, some of them funny. Some of them were like, what the F? Last night, I was sleeping really good. Like, really good. Like, I was comfortable and cozy, and, I mean, this bed is the most comfortable bed on the planet, and I was in a food coma because one of my favorite sandwiches in the entire world is a Reuben. They are delightful. They are yummy. If you don't like them, you can go away. I don't need that kind of negativity in my life. I'm kidding. Totally kidding. But they are amazing. They are one of my favorites. And I was informed that they were making Lay's potato chips that were flavored like a Reuben. You know, Lay's does like that do us your flavor thing every summer and you pick the new flavor. I found them yesterday. We'll leave it at that. I found them yesterday. I proceeded to eat the entire bag in a few hours. They are, oh my God, amazing. Absolutely amazing. So I was in a food coma from my chip fiasco gone bad. I was sleeping really well, and apparently I was moving a lot because my ass done fell out of this bed and hit the floor. I did not get hurt. I was mad because the dream I was having was not bad. It was a good dream, and I don't know why I was moving around, but I just ran out of bed, I guess. I guess I need to invest in like a king-size bed because apparently this one is not big enough anymore for me because I done fell out and hit the floor right over there. Woke up, did like one of these. I was like, what the hell? Just kind of got back into bed. And then, of course, I was awake for like 2 hours because I couldn't go back to sleep. But at least they're good dreams. They're not bad dreams. I got new bows yesterday. I'm not going to make a point to mention them all the time, but only when I'm really excited about it. And I'm really excited about this one because it matches my shoes. Like, 2 different stores, completely different stores. Journeys, Hot Topic, match, same material. They're both silky, both cosmic, got stars. I was so excited. I knew that I had to have, it was meant to be. Meant to be. I am so freaking excited. I got some other cute ones. I got one with anchors on it, and one with skulls on it, and one with music notes. I'm just so excited. I can't help myself. And then I ordered one online because I couldn't buy it here, but I ordered a Seattle Seahawks bow for football season. So I'm so excited about that one. So that one will be making an appearance, I'm sure, as football season approaches. I'm really excited because it's pretty. It's big, so I'll have to wear my hair up because it's more like a cheerleader bow. Like, it's really big, and it's blue and green. Got a big Seahawk in the middle of it. I'm really excited about that one. But we are not here to talk about my bow excitement or my chip coma or my dream pattern. We are here for GA Flashback Friday, where we recap a past episode of Ghost Adventures. And today I'm really excited because we are going to Vista Hospital in Southern California. Now, I loved this episode. It was a fantastic, wonderful episode, like amazing episode. As always, I like to give you a little bit of history before we get into lockdown breakdown. Now, Vista Hospital is in East LA. Anybody who knows anything about Los Angeles knows that East LA is not the place to be, ever, especially after dark. Linda Vista Hospital is like smack dab in the middle of East LA, really close to Compton. In the 70s and 80s, that's when the gangs kind of moved into the area, and the hospital began to see a lot of violent injuries, shootings, stabbings, gang violence. There was a lot of death in this hospital in a very, very, very short amount of time. They were accused of not doing things properly, not taking care of patients properly, and the hospital just kind of closed. The city kind of closed it down, and they literally just abandoned ship. Like, there are patient records laying around, there's still incubators for babies, there's still beds for babies, there's still hospital beds and surgical tools, gloves. It's absolutely insane. Like, it literally, they just left. People just left, and everything else is there. It's just the ultimate breeding ground for trap souls, because you've got patient records of patients that could have been dead. You have gloves laying around that could have been used working on patients. The most disturbing thing, however, is in the basement where the incinerator's at, where they would just burn John Does. Like, people who they didn't have an identity for, they would just burn them. And Zach, like, very nonchalant, like, flippantly stuck his hand in here, and they're like, that's Ash, that's human. And he's like, oh my God. Like, you could tell he was absolutely mortified, because he just desecrated somebody's final resting place. Like, unintentionally, of course, but still. Like, he stuck his hand in there and, like, had ash on his hand. He even found, like, a bone fragment, and that's when he was like, this is it. I can't do this. I can't do this. Just get me out of here. Because he just felt like he was desecrating someone's final resting place, like their grave, for all intents and purposes. I mean, they were burned, and that was it. Their ashes are right there. And it's so improper, like, to do that. But I don't think the hospital had a choice, nor did they probably care. They just wanted to get rid of them, and they just wanted to make it go away. This place is no joke. Like, this is absolutely crazy. Zach called it the hospital from hell. And that is an accurate damn statement, because they weren't even in lockdown. They got more evidence in the first, like, 3 hours of their walkthrough than they ever get, like, in an entire lockdown. They were walking through with a couple of other paranormal investigators, Kirsten and Layla, and they had captured months earlier a little girl humming in the surgical suite. They were playing it back on their digital recorder. And so they kind of started asking questions, and Aaron's audio started messing up, like, every time they would ask questions. And then they played back their digital recorder, and they actually captured the same little girl humming. This was during walkthrough. They weren't even on lockdown yet. They were just, minds were blown. Like, they had never had that happen. They were completely blown away. Kirsten and Layla were freaking out. Like, absolutely freaking out. And I knew in that moment, the very first time I seen this episode ever, I knew that it was going to be a hell of a lockdown. If they were getting this in broad daylight, middle of the day, then I cannot imagine what was going to happen when the lights go out and when it gets dark and it gets even more freaking creepy. And then they found out that there was a mental hospital connected to the hospital by an underground tunnel, like, across the parking lot. And that was, like, the icing on the cake. They were so excited that they had the mental hospital. They didn't even know it was there. And so they went through the underground tunnel, and they went over to the mental hospital, where they figured out that there were some spirits there that were kind of violent and had been known to attack people and scratch people, especially in room 323. And so that is where they started lockdown. So that's where we will start our lockdown breakdown. In the mental hospital, they captured a lot of banging, a lot of humming, a lot of EVPs, including maybe someone saying Nick, surprise, surprise. And then they also caught, like, this strobing orb of light on their static night vision camera. I'd never heard the guys in one episode say, what the hell is that, so much, because it was just constant. I mean, it was from start to finish just a constant barrage of, like, banging and EVPs and all of this crazy, messed up paranormal activity. Meanwhile, over on the first floor of the main hospital, as the guys were making their way back from the mental hospital, they were capturing a really awesome piece of evidence. They actually captured this white mist that had its own shadow. At first they thought maybe it could have been car lights, but it was on the first floor. There was no windows, no way that it could have happened. And the mist actually had its own shadow. So it's casting its own shadow about 6 feet tall. And they captured that on a static night vision camera on the first floor of the main hospital while they were making their way back over to investigate over there. Now, while they were over there, they heard this disembodied moan and like a sick patient breathing for like an oxygen mask. But the best part of the entire episode happened in the surgical suite, back in the surgical suite at the end of the episode when Nick was kind of standing in the doorway of the surgical suite, kind of looking around and hearing different things. And he turns back, and in the doorway, he swears up and down. He sees this woman kind of going at him like this. So much so that if you remember later on in the season and continuing seasons, he had a t-shirt of this woman that was like holding her hand out, and that was the woman that he seen at Linda Vista. Scared the living out of him. Like, you knew he seen something because like the camera flew back, he ran, he jumped back, the damn digital recorder flew out of his damn hand. And a really awesome thing happened that can kind of back up what he said, is that when they reviewed all the evidence, they noticed that Nick's camera, even though it was facing toward that area and it didn't really move, like when he backed up, he kind of went like this and the camera kind of went with him, but it didn't really move away from that doorway, but it froze. Right at the beginning, right when he turned his head and seen that, the camera froze, and then it unfroze when he kind of moved away. Almost like the spirit was preventing herself from being captured on film. Sneaky little snots, aren't they? But it was compelling because you had someone have visual evidence. They said they seen something, but then you had a piece of physical evidence to back it up with the camera malfunctioning. It was absolutely insane. I remember watching it for the first time and I jumped off this bed. Like, I fell to the floor, jumped off the bed, freaking out. Typically because I watch Ghost Adventures alone at night in the dark. Yeah, I know. Whatever. But I was absolutely freaked out. Like, it was just one of those jumpy moments. And then to have all the evidence that they had to back it up was just insane. And even though I don't like Nick, I'm happy for him that he caught that piece of evidence because it's good for Ghost Adventures fans to be able to have that kind of evidence to stake a claim on a location. And then the last piece of evidence they got, which was kind of sad, was an EDP that said, "Don't leave me." And it was kind of the perfect sad way to sum up the entire episode, because this hospital was just abandoned. There's patient records everywhere. There's equipment everywhere. There was a lot of violent death here. A lot of lawsuits against wrongful death at the hospital. You don't know how many souls are trapped there. And to hear a spirit call out and say, "Don't leave me." Don't. It's like they're holding on to you as their last hope in this realm. And maybe it's me as an empath, but I really feel for them there. Like, I feel sad for them. Because no one should have to die in vain. No one should have to die at the hands of someone who doesn't care. No one should have to die a violent death, and no one should have to be forgotten and not given a proper goodbye when they die. And that's what Linda Vista is. These people came in, acts of violent death, gang-related shootings, stabbings, drug overdoses. Then they came in and they had doctors that didn't care or cared very little. And they were given improper goodbyes by being thrown in an incinerator if they didn't have anybody to claim them. And now they're just holding on. They have people coming in to investigate, and they're going, "Please don't leave. You are my last hope in this world, so please don't leave me." It was just really sad, and it kind of just hit my heart because you just realize that some spirits just want to hold on as long as they can to this world. And sometimes investigators and empaths and mediums, we are all they have to hold on to. And it's sad, but it was just kind of like that perfect way to end for this particular episode because of the history of Linda Vista. So that is all I have for GA Flashback Friday. I will be back on Tuesday for GAQA Tuesday, where I answer all of your Ghost Adventures related questions that you guys ask me all up on the Facebook page or that you private message me. Until then, stay happy, stay healthy, have a wonderful, fantastic, amazing, magical weekend. I am going to go eat lunch and attempt to stay motivated. Much love and happiness.